Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk in English.
Hi, everyone. We are happy to see you again. Today, we have another very practical English conversation lesson.
Before we begin today's topic, Sarah, how has your week been?
My week has been interesting. I was very busy with work, but I also spent some time reading and watching the news.
That's interesting. I also noticed that many people around me are talking about the news these days.
Yes, the news can be everywhere, on television, on social media, and in conversations with friends.
Exactly. And many English learners ask an important question. How can I talk about the news in English?
That is a very good question. Talking about the news is part of everyday conversation.
You might talk about the news with your coworkers, classmates, friends, or family.
So today, we will teach you how to talk about news in English in a natural and respectful way.
We will also explain useful phrases, vocabulary, and examples. Let's begin. Sarah, imagine I just saw some important news. How can I start a conversation?
A very simple way is to ask a question. For example, did you hear about the news today?
That sounds very natural. Let me try. Sarah, did you hear about the news today?
Yes, I did. I read about it this morning.
Perfect. That sounds like a real conversation.
Here are some other ways to start a news conversation. You can say, I just heard something interesting in the news. Or, I saw something surprising on the news today.
Let me try another example. Sarah, I saw something interesting on the news today.
Really? What happened?
See, the conversation continues naturally.
When we talk about the news, people usually want to share their opinions.
Yes, opinions are very important in conversations.
You can ask someone's opinion like this. What do you think about it?
That is a very useful phrase. Let me practice. Sarah, what do you think about the news?
I think the situation is complicated.
Good answer. Another phrase you can use is, how do you feel about it?
Yes, that question asks about emotions. Example, Lucas, how do you feel about the news?
Honestly, I feel a little worried.
Now let's talk about how to share your own opinion.
One simple phrase is, in my opinion.
Example, in my opinion, it is important to understand the full situation.
Another useful phrase is, I think that. Example, I think that people should stay informed.
There is also a polite phrase. From what I understand,
Yes, that phrase shows humility. Example, from what I understand, the situation is still developing.
now let's learn some important words used when talking about the news. Word 1. Situation.
The word situation means what is happening at a particular time. Example sentence, the situation is changing quickly.
Word 2. Report. A report is information given by journalists. Example, I read a report about the event.
Word 3, conflict. Conflict means a serious disagreement or fight. Example, there is conflict between two groups.
Word 4. Discussion. Discussion means people talking about something to understand it better. Example, we had a long discussion about the news.
Now, let's have a longer conversation about news. Lucas, did you hear about the news this morning?
Yes, I did. I saw it on my phone.
What did you think about it?
I think it is a serious situation.
I agree. Many people are talking about it.
Yes, and sometimes people have different opinions.
That is normal. Everyone has a different perspective.
The important thing is to stay respectful.
Exactly.
Sometimes people disagree about the news.
Yes, but it is important to disagree politely. For example, I understand your opinion, but I see it differently.
Let me try. Sarah, I understand your opinion, but I see it differently.
That sounds polite and respectful. Another phrase is, that's an interesting point, but I have another perspective.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes English learners make.
One mistake is forgetting the verb feel. Example mistake, I very worried. Correct sentence, I feel very worried.
Another mistake is saying, people must stop fight. Correct sentence, people must stop fighting.
Lucas, do you think it is important to follow the news?
Yes, I think it is important because the news helps us understand the world.
That's true, but sometimes the news can also feel overwhelming.
Yes, especially when the news is about conflict or crisis.
When that happens, I try to stay calm and look for reliable information.
That is a good idea. What about you?
I try to read news from different sources so I can understand different perspectives.
That is very smart. Also, I like to talk about the news with friends
Why?
because discussion helps me understand the topic better.
Now it's your turn to practice. Repeat these sentences after us.
Did you hear about the news today?
What do you think about it?
In my opinion, the situation is complicated.
From what I understand, the story is still developing.
Talking about the news in English is a very useful skill.
It helps you connect with people and understand the world.
Remember to stay respectful when discussing serious topics.
And most importantly, keep practicing your English every day.
Thank you for learning with us.
See you in the next lesson.
And let's keep talking in English together.